Welcome, everybody. This is 2K Sports with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, this is a game that may be determined early, and they have made it clear that their focus is to limit mistakes and deliver the defensive and offensive performance they're capable of. Can we talk about Kawhi Leonard, fellas? One of the main pillars for his team. Obviously, great on defense. Is he somebody you can build the team around?
Well, he isn't flashy, but he's starting to put up elite numbers for sure.
Not that I'm a defense player, but I play with a lot of defense players. His defense is what pushes him to that superstar tier. This guy can work you at both ends. Still very young, not even close to his prime yet, Kenny.
Thanks for joining us as we go courtside now with Kevin Harlan for the call.
Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. A battle in the Western Conference. This Houston crowd hoping to watch their Rockets come out on top. Now let's get a pregame report from Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who spoke with Greg Popovich. David.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players at the defensive end to come out on top. Let's see if that's the effort they get. Guys?
Thank you, David. In a rivalry game here, Brent, between these two conference foes, we could see tempers flare in this one.
What always starts a rivalry, Kevin? Is it familiarity with one another?
I think so, sure. The more you play, the more you know.
Yep, well, we got that here tonight. So these guys don't like one another. We're going to see how tense this game is. We'll have a good gauge on the temperature of these teams.
Familiarity is a big word in these kind of matchups.
It is. It's a lot of syllables, too.
Yeah, a lot of vowels. And a look at the starters for San Antonio. The defensive duo of Green and Leonard make up the perimeter. Aldridge out there with Dwayne Dedmon, and it's Mills in at the one spot.
Even though he's on the short side for a center, that vertical really evens things out.
And so the Houston Rockets get the first points of the ball game. Pass to Leonard. In the corner, it's Aldridge. 5 to shoot. Here's Mills. Kept alive. Aldridge can't get it to go. And here are the Rockets now. Over in the corner, Beverly. Anderson outside. Now here's Beverly. Tight defense on him. Fires for three. Hits the three-point bomb. Beverly's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at the basket from three-point range.
Feels so good to bury that first shot. I know he won't hesitate to pull the trigger if he's got some space again.
Now here's Mills. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. It's good from long range.
When you're trying to space the floor, Green's the guy you'll want out there. The defense is forced to respect him from range.
There's the pick. Off the pick. Harden, no good.
I have no clue what happened with the defense there, but they should be thanking their lucky stars that somehow he bricked that golden opportunity.
And here's Mills from the arc. Ariza with the rebound. Rockets have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. And Anderson gets to Ariza. Anderson, a screen on Green. Puts up a 3, and it's Anderson that time on the assist by Harden. Anderson's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. And Coming into the league, Ryan Anderson had always been described as a happy-go-lucky type. Just a big heart, a kind, big kid. But a couple of years ago, Brent, he endured some tremendous adversity.
Well, you remember 2015 in the early part of January, that scary collision, Kevin, on the court, which ended the year requiring some neck surgery. And anytime you're up around the head area, you got to be really careful with any player in their future. After that lengthy recovery and some off-season training, Ryan Anderson has found his game once again.
Connects from three-point range.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And Mills kicks to Dedmon. Right side Aldridge. Puts one up from 19, and he hits the jump shot. Rockets leading by 6. Here's the screen. Harden inside the three-point line, and it's Houston with another.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Mills dishes to Aldridge. Back to Mills. Leonard with the ball. He's picked up by Ariza. Aldridge misses.
Well, he's seen it before where he can light it up with the best in the league, but right now, he just does not have the touch.
And it really starting to look like they're going to have one of those days where nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, high level of activity, chaotic here in the first quarter, obviously paying big dividends. And really a trend-setting three-point shooting big man. Ryan Anderson led the NBA in three-pointers made back in 2011, 2012. Came in second a year later. The game right now, tailor-made for Ryan Anderson.
Making some changes. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. Gordon comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Williams in for James Harden. Here's Murray. And with Ryan Anderson's height and his quick release, it's awfully tough for defenders to affect that shot.
Yeah, he gets on balance really quickly, setting up his feet, and could come off of screens and spot up as well. The one aspect of his game, too, Kevin, is he can post up smaller defenders and also score from down low.
4 on the clock. A 3 from Simmons. Rockets with the rebound. In the corner, it's Gordon. And another 3 for Houston.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Spurs trail by 13. Murray kicks to Gasol. Spurs working the ball around now. Simmons passes to Gasol. Stolen by Gordon. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Beverly with the ball.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Anderson a screen on Williams. Gasol a screen. Here's Ginobili. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
And showing his trademark aggressiveness inside, Ginobili was not going to be denied.
And Beverly kicks to Williams. Nene, the screen to the paint. And a missed layup.
Well, the defense ready for him there in prevent mode, making sure that he didn't get a clean look at that layup.
And Simmons kicks to Gasol. Off target from outside. And it's Houston's ball. They're on a 20-7 run. Anderson with the screen for Williams. Just 5 to shoot. And it's off the back rim. No good. Murray kicks to Gasol. Buries it from about 10 feet away. Gasol's got his first 2 points.
And I really like to see Gasol go up with the shot immediately after getting the pass. Shows how much confidence he has in himself.
And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Rockets on top, up by 11. We'll be back shortly live from Houston, Texas. And the Gasol brothers, Pau, talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really picture it. I'm just proud to be Mark's brother, and I'm proud of what he's become as a basketball player and as a man.
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become two of the best centers in the NBA of this era.
Especially when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers. I mean, they traded him to Memphis for his brother. And that does all seem like fiction, doesn't it?
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And for the Rockets here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Yeah, I just really love that they're playing with their hearts tonight, contesting shots, making their opponent work for every point.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. The defensive duo of Green and Leonard make up the perimeter. Pau Gasol is out there with David Lee, and it's Murray in at the one. The dish to Gasol, picked by Lee. Off the pick. It's Gasol missing.
Well, he makes the big bucks because he's expected to knock those shots down. The D was there, but that's no excuse. He has to hit those shots.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Well, good hand-eye coordination, but he could only get the deflection very close.
Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in. Gordon kicks to Harden. They get it back. Nene. And Gasol sends it back.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection. And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
The Rockets shooting their first free throws of the game.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one. Brent, the importance of the three-pointer growing and growing. Some worry it's becoming too prominent. What do you think?
I'm enjoying the game. I'm getting a little jealous.
I think everybody is, though.
Yeah,
right?
I'm getting a little jealous that I didn't play in this era. But interesting the way that coaches are seeking out the three-point line and in turn trying to create more space for the guys that can do more than just shoot threes, Kevin. So having versatility between 1 and 4, a great screen setter that can roll and command some attention of the defense to suck in the defense. We always talk about the accordion of the defense, bringing them in, pulling them out, and taking advantage. I like the three-point shot. It's here to stay. Just don't mention 4. Don't mention the 4-point shot.
But some are.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, after suffering a hip injury at Texas, LaMarcus Aldridge spent 2 months shooting from a chair, and his form improved dramatically. Now his go-to move is his fadeaway high-release jumper. It's an unstoppable shot, and Aldridge is so confident in it, he says, once the shot's up, I'm getting back on D. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A. He's got a great touch. Here's Mills, following the basket by Nene. Mills can't hit. On the wing, Gordon, guarded by Green, and out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
Look, you just don't like turnovers ever, but they happen. Hopefully they'll learn from that mistake.
Spurs trail by 9. Mills with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Leonard kicks to Aldridge. Taken away by Nene. Ariza outside. Finish off the break. And the Rockets lead by 11.
Hit his teammate right in stride. That's a great assist.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Edmonds checked in for the Spurs. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Now here's Mills, guarded by Harden. Mills dishes to Dedmon, stolen by Harden. Ariza outside. Kicks it to Harden. Launches a three. Bangs home the trifecta. Harden's got 7 points in the game.
A tough matchup for the smaller defender there. Just shot right over the top without thinking twice.
Now here's Mills. Not a lot of room. Dedmon passes to Mills. Just 5 on the clock. Basket counts. Mills has got his first basket.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Harden outside. High arcing shot. It's blocked.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Timeout.
There's no way he even felt that contact. That's what makes Leonard so tough to defend on the dribble drive.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
Well, coming into the league, Kawhi Leonard was not a perimeter shooter, but he's developed into one of the league's finest. No longer a spot-up threat, though. He can create some offense on the block, able to handle the ball and bully smaller players with that massive frame at 230, just moving defenders around.
So for the Rockets, Anderson, he's checked in for Clint Capella. Williams comes in for Gordon, and it's Patrick Beverley in for James Harden. San Antonio also making some changes. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. Simmons comes in for Leonard, and it's Ginobili in for Green. Rockets leading by 10. And Brent, you look at the growing offensive role for Kawhi Leonard. For as many touches as he gets, he hardly ever turns the ball over.
Well, have you seen his hands, Kevin? How would you get the ball away from those things? You just don't find players who can score in isolation, space the floor, and protect the ball as well as he does.
Here's Ginobili after the Rockets pick up 3. And Anderson has it in the corner to the paint. Here's Dedmon. And it's Nene with the rebound. Nene's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game. Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And to me, this is why they're winning, guys. Unlikely players stepping up huge against a defense that's really nowhere to be found.
Houston's gotten both of their 3-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. And 1:01 left to play in the first half. And the shot is good. Nene's got 6.
You know, he didn't score the ball much in the first quarter, but he has been really, really solid during the second quarter. I expect a big game from him now.
Now here's Ginobili. In a wide open look for Simmons. Rockets with the rebound. Nene's got his 4th rebound in this one. Williams with the ball. Picked up by Ginobili. And some nice passing there by Houston. For 3. The shot by Williams, no good. Spurs trail by 15. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And Ginobili with the 3. Ginobili's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
Pass to Williams. The 3. Good work defensively by Ginobili.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Yeah, awesome job right there of closing out on the shooter to contest. May have made him adjust that just a bit.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
And there's the call on Nene. That is his first foul of the game. And that concludes the first half. Rockets lead by 10. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Greg Popovich. Pop, what do you think was the main issue during the first half?
We didn't make shots.
Thank you for that insightful analysis, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. The first quarter was all about Ryan Anderson. He had 11 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
The three-point shot was their best friend. I agree with the strategy. When it's working, take advantage of it. I don't really like it. Live by the jumper, die by the jumper. But tonight, they're living, and they're living good, baby.
Kenny, how do you think San Antonio played?
Well, it's never easy to play on the road, and the score reflects that. Just doesn't seem like they're well prepared for this matchup. Every time they tried to make a run, they got derailed. I think to refocus their efforts in the second half, they're going to need to play with a lot more determination for a chance to win this.
That's it for now, as the second half is just about ready to go. We, and I mean the three of us, will be right here after the final buzzer.
And as we return to Houston, Texas, a terrific look at the skyline here. The Toyota Center, part of that great landscape. Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. We've seen Ryan Anderson really having a great game.
You just can't shoot the triple any better than he did in that first half. That was incredible.
Yeah, not something he typically does well, but it shows almost anyone at this level can get on a roll on any given night.
San Antonio with the ball. It's a 10-point game. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. Taking a look at the Rockets. Harden and Ariza, the athletic wing pair. Ryan Anderson out there with Clint Capella. And it's Beverly in at the point guard position. Well, you were a pretty good passer in your day when you look at the playmakers in the NBA. Who do you like?
Love Ricky Rubio in Minnesota, the way that he sees the floor. I think he's fantastic in the open court and gives his guys a lot of great opportunities that normally they wouldn't see. Chris Paul in LA for the Clippers operates in the pick and roll better than anybody maybe we've seen in the game of basketball, maybe in its history, with his mid-range game and the way that he sets up guys around him. Those are two of my favorites.
Like him.
perfect positioning, and you know he will knock that look down more times than not. Just didn't connect there.
Dedmon kicks to Mills. Green dishes to Aldridge. Takes it from 10, and a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Aldridge has got 6.
Inside with a hand in his face, Aldridge undeterred.
Beverly the pass to Anderson. He kicks it to Harden. It's blocked. Here's Mills. Rebounded by Capella.
You can't fault him for taking the open look, guys. Just didn't go in for him, but you know he'll look to shoot that one again. Well, they missed their first 3 shots, and after that maybe they'll get some air underneath their wings a little bit.
Gordon's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And San Antonio with the change here too. David Lee checked in for Dwayne Dedmon.
Coach Pop often talks about the value of corporate knowledge, the procedures and shared philosophies that guide his basketball teams year after year. They're actually compiling a database called the Spurs Way to make sure that knowledge is passed down over time.
Now here's Beverly following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Now here's Mills, defended by Beverly. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
Murray's checked in for Patty Mills. The Rockets have been unsuccessful at the line so far, 0 of 3, and looking to make their first free throw of the game right now.
And when you look at the Rockets, I mean, plenty of offense, but last year there was a huge drop-off defensively. And given this team's lofty goals, that really flies right in the face of that old adage, defense wins championships.
Houston on D. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
This is bread and butter stuff here. If you're tasked with trying to stop Green, you can't give him any space on a catch-and-shoot opportunity.
Now, here is Harden. 9 points in the game so far. Anderson outside. Passes it to Gordon. 6 to shoot. Top of the key. David Lee comes up with the rebound. And talking about how the Rockets are structured, they do have some players on the roster, Greg, who can play defense. It's a wonder they've been so bad at that end.
I mean, the problem with defense, though, Kevin, is that it takes all 5 guys to buy in. You have to have a level of trust on the floor, and that happens for the Rockets only once in a while, which is why they give up an insane number of points to their opponents.
Now here's Gordon. He dishes it to Beverly. It's stolen by Green, and the Spurs pushing it up now. Murray kicks to Aldridge. Dishes it to Green. Lee sets a screen for Green. Can't make good off the pick. Rockets leading by 9. Anderson passes to Beverly. Back to Anderson. He feeds it to Harden. On the wing, Gordon. Shot clock at 5. And the rejection by Leonard. Inside. Green dishes to Aldridge. Stolen by Harden. A minute 50 left in the third quarter. And Beverly kicks to Capella. There's the feed to Gordon. There's the pass to Beverly. Anderson wide open. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got his 4th assist in this one.
Well, Ryan Anderson in catch-and-shoot game is a great option. The D has no way to react when Anderson uses that quick release.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, we know Greg Popovich uses a lot of different tools to motivate his players. Sometimes it's the things he doesn't say that works best. Popovich said, sometimes in timeouts, I'll say, I've got nothing for you. We just turned it over 6 times. Everybody's holding the ball. What do you want me to do? Figure it out. Now get up and walk away, because it's true. It's on them. Kevin?
Thanks, T.A. That accountability goes a long way. So it's San Antonio now, following the three by Houston that went in. Here's Anderson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. And for a team with as much talent as the Rockets have had over the last few seasons, the results have been pretty mixed.
Yeah, and look at the club's recent rosters. I mean, they've been filled with a couple mega stars and then everyone else. At some point, you have to look past all the individual stuff and make the commitment as a team to play for each other. Unselfish, fundamental basketball.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for Houston. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And you look back, the Spurs, one of the very first teams to really scout the globe and bring in international players.
Well, it's also interesting, Kevin, that the trend continues. Even last year in the 2016 draft, in the first round, we saw a lot of international players being snatched up as building blocks for their franchises moving forward. But the Spurs always have been successful at finding some hidden gems, and their general manager deserves a lot of credit for it.
You know, the thing about James Harden, though, there's really no perfect way to defend him. I mean, he can torch you from deep, drives the lane as well as anybody, and especially when he's looking to create contact. And in many ways, your best defense against him is a good offense. You try to match some of his points by scoring on the other end. Well documented that maybe defense not his strength, but, you know, that's an area where if you want to have success, you're going to have to do a good job on that end.
Murray kicks to Simmons. Feeds to Murray. Good-looking screen by Gasol. There's 42 seconds left in the third. Murray with it, and it's Harden picking him up. It's Ginobili outside. Good on the three-point shot. Ginobili's got 8 points. And thinking about ways to stop Harden, part of the problem is that he's really built like no other player out there.
Physically, he's got that barrel of a body, the long arms, and just enough quickness to blow by you. He's elusive yet always looking for contact, which is why he lives at the free throw line.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
The Rockets have shot 3 of 6 at the foul line. And that one misses. Spurs trail by 11. Now here's Ginobili. 8 points for him. Pass to Murray. Shoots from 12. And another basket for San Antonio. And we've reached the end of the third. Rockets on top. They're up by 9. We'll be back shortly, live from Houston, Texas. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
Everybody got to rotate, rebound, there's pace going back. It's attack, attack, attack. That's all it is.
Greg Popovich distilling it down to one simple concept: be aggressive.
Hey, guys, he knows this game so well. When they control momentum, the pace, they're much harder to beat.
The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. On the court for San Antonio, Pau Gasol is out there with Anderson. Then there's Murray. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Simmons in at the 2-guard spot. And there's the 3-second violation. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for the Spurs. Mills comes in for Murray. Houston leading by 9. Ariza sends a screen for Beverly. And it's Ariza in the corner. Drops in the tray. Ariza's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Rockets. Well, these days, teams have really gone away from offensive rebounding, transition defense, such an imperative.
Well, I think Greg Popovich started it off in San Antonio, and then Doc Rivers adopted it in Boston for many years, because the numbers will tell you the percentage chances of grabbing an offensive rebound for your basketball team are not very good. And if you take those kind of risks, calculated as they might be, it's a disadvantage for you to get back in transition and set up your defense. So a lot more teams adopting the 4 back and 1 take a chance at the offensive rebound mentality.
Part of that analytics contribution we're talking about before. Things like that point those things out to the point.
Yeah, and the numbers aren't lying.
Right, exactly. Here's Williams. And off the front iron, and in it goes. And the Rockets lead by 14.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Leonard kicks to Mills. Stolen by Beverly. And it's Anderson atop the key. Right side, Williams. Here's Beverly. From outside, off the mark. Spurs trail by 14. And Mills kicks to Leonard. Aldridge against Anderson. And Aldridge gets it to go on the assist from Leonard. 8 points for Aldridge.
Well, I feel like he can make that one blindfolded. Aldridge, as usual, cashing in from mid-range.
Outside Williams. Anderson the screen. Williams passes to Anderson, and that one drops for him.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Now here's Mills, defended by Beverly. Leonard dishes to Gasol, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
The wherewithal from Gasol there, nailing the shot despite the tough defense all over. And this last offseason, Pau Gasol coming over to the Spurs in free agency, it seems to be the exact kind of player that the Spurs would want on their team, especially with his basketball IQ. I like the fit as well, and it didn't take long for him to join San Antonio.
A 3 from Anderson. They get it again. Goes back up. Capella plays it up and banks it in. And the Rockets lead by 14.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
San Antonio calls timeout. And for Gasol and the Spurs, it was actually another Gasol that was prompting Pau to join the team. His brother Mark told him, go to San Antonio.
Yeah, and what is strange is that Mark is very much on a team that rivals the Spurs. So I don't think Mark was doing it just so he could battle his older brother 4 times a year. I think he meant what he said with the Spurs. They are a great organization and would probably make the best fit for Pau at the end of his career.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
During that break, Greg Popovich really had some strong advice for his team. He is not happy with the turnovers. He said, we have got to get some shots. It's as simple as that, guys. Play smart and value the basketball. We'll see if the message sunk in, Kevin.
Thanks, David. Here's Mills, following the 3 by Houston that went in. Another miss by Leonard. Ariza kicks to Beverly. Leonard against Ariza. Houston moving the ball around. The baseline J off the mark. Spurs trail by 17. Now Mills. There's the dish to Leonard. Baseline try. He gets that one.
Well, this is something he's working on. A good natural leader from the point guard position wants to help out by becoming a better facilitator.
And here's Beverly. Kicks to Harden. And so he draws the foul on the shot. Trip to the line to shoot 2. And for all the scoring, Greg, that James Harden gives you, he's also one of the top playmakers in the NBA.
You know, and even coming out of college, Kevin, a lot of scouts felt Harden could play the point. I mean, that's one of the reasons why this guy is going to consistently be in the MVP conversation.
Harden hits them both. Spurs trail by 17.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Houston.
A few times this season, turnovers have cost them, but they really kept the ball under control.
They were both focused and relentless. And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Anderson. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. San Antonio also making some changes. Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. Ginobili comes in for Daniel Green. And Murray's subbed in for Patty Mills.
Well, the Spurs have 3 future Hall of Famers. There's no doubt about it. And even with the acquisition of LaMarcus Aldridge, there's no question who is the Spurs' best player. It is Kawhi Leonard. Quietly, he's made that leap into superstar status. Although, don't ask him about it because he won't tell you anything.
Here's Ginobili following the score by Houston. Anderson the screen. There's 45 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Leonard. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Off the ball, Kawhi Leonard is so dangerous. Fail to block him out, and he's going to get inside for something good.
Benet setting the pick for Brown. Williams a screen. Near the three-point line, it's Gordon. The offensive rebound. Harrell the pass to Williams. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Ryan, it was a great night of shooting for you. What does it mean to you that your teammates have the confidence to get you the ball when you're in position to score?
They have a ton of confidence in me. Even if I'm missing them, they want me to keep shooting because a lot of times I'm open. So, you know, my teammates do a great job of finding me. I got to just keep shooting. I mean, that's what shooters should do. You know, you can't lose confidence in your shot. You just have to be ready and focused and just shoot the next one and hopefully it goes in.
Yeah, the next one's always going in, right? Thanks very much, Ryan. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. Superb. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Ryan Anderson. I'll tell you what, his season high in points powered everything they did. Clearly, he was the catalyst tonight as they come away with the well-deserved W.
Reminds me of myself. His field goal percentage was all the way up in the 60s. Not that I like talking about myself, but it was a very steady night for him. You don't shoot well without working hard, and he never stopped battling to get the best look possible. Smart, efficient basketball he was playing. Thanks for showing me.
It was a stupendous night for him from long range. Having him out there on the perimeter took a lot of heat off their guys inside, and it gave them room to operate in the paint.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, spectacular, just great. I mean, see you.
Good night.